right. Jeff, today you wanted to talk a little bit about how to get creative on finding leads for paid shoots. Tell us about your marketing efforts.
So I'm not trying to be a professional photographer, right? I think I've made that pretty clear on the podcast over the last few years that I like being a hobbyist photographer. That doesn't mean I don't do paid shoots, though. I like an occasional paid shoot that it helps boost the budget for the gear and software, so that's always good. And it challenges me. It helps me to improve. It helps me to get better. So I do occasionally do some, and I kind of stumbled across it. I just thought about raising it today as a subject to try to offer some help, maybe to other hobbyists, or even as you're trying to get into it. It seems like a really hard problem to solve. About how do I get into it? It can be something that can be self-fulfilling later. Like I think some of the other hosts, like Nick, he got into this. He's really been able to build up a big following and establish himself as a professional. It doesn't always work that way for everyone. So how is it that they can do that? And I didn't do it on purpose either, but I kind of stumbled across a way that has helped me. So one of the things that I wanted to do just for fun, I wanted to get media credentials to go shoot the local high school football team. And nobody would do it. So I tried a lot of the conventions. I went straight to the school. They already said, no, we already have a photographer. We're not going to give you credentials. I tried with some of the boosters or supporters, like people who had paid to advertise at the different sporting events. They're kind of sponsoring the sporting events, and because they can often help you to get media credentials. None of them would help me either. So I kind of was forced into giving up on football for the year. But then I had a neighbor who's got two sons that are on the basketball team, and nobody cares about the basketball team on taking photos. So I said, I've been trying to get media credentials. I couldn't get in football. If you can help me get some media credentials, then I'll come and shoot some of the basketball games and be able to get you some shots. And she leapt at the idea because last year all they had was a student that was taking the photos, and the student was delivering them via text. Which I don't even know how that worked. How the student took, like it was on a phone, maybe. I don't know how that was happening. How the student was getting photos of the basketball team over to him, but the quality was really, really bad. So they were super excited at anyone taking an interest. It's like a total difference between the football. There's so many people that want to shoot the football, and nobody cared about the basketball. So I went and they had the school intro of the team to the school. They just got together and played a 7-minute scrimmage. They had some competitions between like the girls soccer team and the boys basketball team, and just a fun night for them to introduce the team to the school. So we haven't even done a game yet. The first game will be in a couple of weeks, but I was there. I took pictures of it.
So wait, I don't get it though. Why are you trying to get into a sporting event to get paid shoots?
Yeah, so it's led to paid shoots is what I was getting at.
Like with the players or what?
Yeah, so I've taken some pictures, right? I went this one night. It wasn't even a game, but the people were so starved for basketball team photos that I've posted a couple from the scrimmage now to social media, putting like one image a day out on Instagram. Or I put a small collection of them out on my business Facebook page. And as a result, I've had a 763% increase of visitors to my Facebook page, my business Facebook page. And the Instagram photos are just spreading like fire through the whole student body. The basketball players are tagging themselves on the photos, and the people are saying how cool the shots look. And it's within less than a week, 2 days after shooting that non-game event, it wasn't even a game yet, I had people asking if I do senior photos. And so I'm going to get some paid jobs out of it, and I'm going to become more of a known photographer in the area for something that was fun. I enjoyed going and shooting the basketball game. It was kind of fun. But it was like finding a place where I didn't have a ton of other competition trying to get the shot. I've also discovered, go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say, and now that you've got into that, now you've got your foot in the door with the school, which can also get you into the football games or anything else. So.
I'm betting that next year they're going to ask if I want to be there for football. if
And
I
then
would
you
go-
charge them. You say, "Oh, now you want me."
Yeah, right. I've also discovered I kind of really enjoy trying to transform these normal kinds of photos into, I'm calling them game day photos. So a lot of universities are doing this now too. I'm seeing it constantly where on Instagram, on Facebook, on game day, they put like a shot of one of the players and all the info about the game and even a hashtag for what hashtag they're going to use as other things are posted through the game. So I've been replicating that with my shots and producing them so that it's a game day shot. I'm using like a preset in Lightroom to kind of apply a grunge look to the players to try to toughen them up, these young high school players, make them look a little meaner and tougher. And then I add graphics to it. I add a hashtag. So I start in Lightroom, then I go into Photoshop, kind of eliminate the backgrounds, replace it with some school colors, put in the school logo, put on there the hashtag Go Mustangs. They're the high school.
That's a cool idea, Jeff.
Mustang.
I like this. I like it because it's something that people are interested in. Like I follow the Boise State Broncos, right? I love the Boise State Broncos football team, and they do the same thing. They'll post a photo, and then like at halftime they'll post the score, and they're getting shared like crazy. Like everybody in
Right.
Boise has that as their Facebook status when they come up. That's a cool idea to do for a high school, to do for the sports teams, because the players are, they're all like, yay, I'm on the computer, right? Like, look, the internet
And
cares
every
about
single
me.
one of them is going to
And
have
that's awesome.
They're going to have my domain on it. So in the lower right, and kind of unobtrusively, it says jsharmonphotos.com. So it's just getting spread like crazy, and we haven't even had the season start. So I just wanted to try to offer some help about, if you're really stuck, try to find something like this. If the boys basketball team was already being covered, the girls isn't. Guaranteed it's not being covered. And that would be a way to go do it too, is go cover the girls basketball team. I've had the girls coach contact me like, is there any way you could make it to one of our games too?
Yeah, you're right that, people are interested in the football, especially in the United States, but even basketball too is usually very popular. You could use the same strategy and go to lacrosse and track and field and tennis, the sports that don't get a lot of attention, but they have, track and field. There's a lot of people in track and field. So you could spread to a lot of people there, and then, contact the players. It'd be a great way to sell photos after games. That's really smart, Jeff. I love how you're doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, well, it was accidental.
Very cool.